there is law and there is sovereignty, right? I mean, like decentralization doesn't mean you can do whatever the hell you want. Decentralization means you have a lot of control on what you do, and the control, what you do with the control is up to you, right? So, I mean, like anything, you can use for good things or bad things. Like if you use for bad things, I think decentralized systems are way better than some centralized systems to be able to track down, right? Like I'll give you an example with Akash network itself, right? We like a big problem that keeps me up at night is like, okay, Akash is permissionless system, anybody can deploy anything on it. What happens if something really bad gets deployed, like something like child pornography or something, right? Like for that, I think like ultimately providers on Akash network are responsible for the content they serve, and they should be able to moderate like any other provider, right? And there are a lot of moderation tools that are in play, and this is a jointed effort, I guess. A lot of the decentralized UGC platforms, right, user-generated content platforms, uh, should uh, should make it easy for their users to use. Um, and So yeah, decentralized systems doesn't mean you got to break the law. I mean, actually it's a very powerful tool for law enforcement to trace you back, right? So I think like because everything is online, right? Like so, in fact, you saw people like TRM Labs or people like Channel Analysis make a very strong case on how they were able to help law enforcement a lot better than a closed centralized system. Um, yeah, that's really where my stance is on like censorship resistance versus like compliance, right? Like, but again, what is law? Law is different based on jurisdiction. Like something like child pornography is universally shunned, right? Obviously, every country in the world, I don't think there's a single country that would encourage people to do that, right? And if you are hosting that, you should go to jail. But other, policies depends on the country, right? So it's you gotta comply with whatever jurisdiction that you had to comply with. And Akash network ultimately is an IP address, right, that hosts a piece of content. The IP address is still IPv4 or IPv6 that has some association in the centralized database. We have not gotten to a truly decentralized IP based networking system. It's still TCP/IP underneath the hood, right? So as long as you connect to TCP/IP, I think you're easily traceable. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure any other technologies that would be higher levels of abstraction would still trace you back.